everybody. Welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast. Spooky season. Cameron Jones here with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Bowe.
Oh, you guys can't see.
I'm not proud.
I couldn't tell if you're holding back a cough
it.
there or if
I can't hold back the cough, so I apologize about.
Well, you had me at the
whatever happens. You guys couldn't see, but there was quite the theatrical movement. I don't know.
It's unfortunate. It's like I was Joe Cochran it, but that's not what I was going for.
Well, in our spooky season, we try to give you some scary. We try to give you some light. We're on the light right now. And arguably, well, just a classic. I don't know about a cold classic. But we're giving you the 1988 film, Beetlejuice. After Barbara and Adam Maitland die in a car accident, they find themselves stuck haunting their country residence, unable to leave their house. When the unbearable Deetzes and their teen daughter Lydia buy the home, the Maitlands attempt to scare them away without success. Their efforts attract Beetlejuice, a mischievous spirit whose help quickly becomes dangerous for the Maitlands and innocent Lydia. Will the Maitlands be able to navigate the afterlife and rid themselves of Beetlejuice, or will his power prove too powerful for the living and the dead? Beetlejuice. I said it 3 times.
From the guy who brought you Big Fish.
Interesting start.
Mars Attacks, Sleepy Hollow, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Tim Burton, starring Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Jeffrey Jones, and Winona Ryder.
It's an iconic Michael Keaton character. It's in the zeitgeist. It's pop culture now.
Candyman with less bees and more shenanigans.
He's kind of Rumpelstiltskin. It's a whimsical, fun family Tim Burton movie.
Beetle breakfast, Beetle drink,
Beetle guys.
Beetlejuice.
Cast and crew. This one's directed by Tim Burton, which I feel like is fairly obvious.
Yeah, and you should know. I mean, we can list and we will his things, but it's Tim Burton, everybody.
Yeah, it's Tim
you
Burton.
Guys clicked on. You guys know it's Tim Burton.
But we'll throw out
Also,
some. Tim Burton, Alice in Wonderland.
No, stop this. Edward Scissorhands at this point. We're in this. The Batmans. We're in a weird, just hit weird.
True.
I don't know if they're all financial hits. I think obviously Batman was, but commercial successes, I think, yeah.
He does a lot of production of things that you think are him directing, like Nightmare Before Christmas.
You'll get a lot of produced by Tim Burton's, but
which is still right in that wheelhouse, though. That early '90s, that's still right there.
I feel like if it says
it's kind of like from the mind of Tim Burton type thing, even though he's
adaptation,
not directing everything.
Which are keywords for saying if it says that or produced by Tim Burton, that means this is going to look a little like Tim Burton.
It's going to look like Tim Burton, and also I've made a lot of money and I don't feel like doing all the stop animation work, but I'll definitely give it the A-OK at the end.
And also, old Timmy's just going to call up his old friend Danny Elfman.
That's true.
Put him on the job.
Yeah.
This is another Danny Elfman composed.
You should know by now, Danny Elfman, Tim Burton work hand in hand.
I guess specifically go back and listen to, now that we are in the spooky season, go back and listen to our Sleepy Hollow.
We did Sleepy Hollow, Mars Attacks. Yep.
We did Mars Attacks, right?
Something notable I just kind of was curious about. The cinematography kind of struck me on this. Thomas E. Ackerman, he did a lot of sort of random ones, like Anchorman, and that Jumanji, George of the Jungle. Go back and listen to George of the Jungle, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Have we done that? Go back and listen to that if we have.
Frank and Weenie. So the cinematography, he kind of keeps it in the same wheelhouse too of a lot of his stuff that he's done.
I like all the movies he listed.
He's done George of the Jungle, but and then the writer Michael McDowell, he did the adaptation of the film Nightmare Before Christmas. And have you guys seen Thinner?
No. Yeah, I
haven't
have.
either.
Stephen King's Thinner.
Oh, it's a Stephen King?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I actually just watched it a couple months ago, funny enough. A man gets cursed by a gypsy, and he's fat, and he gets thinner and thinner until he wastes away.
So that's the crew. Let's move on to the cast. Alec Baldwin plays, I'd say, main couple, Adam.
You, of course, know him from Pearl Harbor, all of our favorite performance.
Probably most notably,
yeah.
Right now in hot water for
is he? I think he's out of hot water, though. I think his toes are dry now, no?
He's like, you were
got
born
a
in
good
the hot
lawyer,
water.
needs to
say.
Yeah. I don't know.
Cameron, Supercell.
Oh, he's in that bad Twister movie. You'd also know him maybe from just being a family adjacent SNL person. He's been on, Sweaty Balls back in the day, Trump now. He's been around
30 Rock.
He's been around for a long
30
time.
Rock, obviously. What's our favorite one? The Edge, Cameron? We still like The Edge? That's him, right?
Oh yeah, The Edge.
Check it out.
That bear movie. Check out The Edge.
Yeah, with who's the old man in that? It's
Anthony Hopkins.
It's Anthony Hopkins because today I'm going to kill the
bear
motherfucker. That's a good bear movie. It's a
Great bear movie.
Pretty much the only two bear movies I got are that and Brave.
Cocaine Bear and The Revenant. And
oh, yeah, there's some bear movies. All right. Turns out somebody was like, and go. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, there's bear movies out there.
A couple polar bear ones out there.
Brother Bear?
Brother Bear. Yeah. Tugs of
Only know the
Heartstrings,
songs. Don't just the songs. I have no idea what's going on in that
Phil
movie.
Collins, did he work on that?
Yeah, he
Tell
did. Sure did.
everybody I'm on my way home. And I know the song. I don't know the movie.
Gina Davis plays Barbara.
For sure, go back and see our League of Their Own. But probably most famously Thelma and Louise.
Or a League of Their Own. Probably
Or
this.
Stuart Little.
If you want, sure.
It's so weird that I think I know like 70 of her movies, but it's just 3 big ones from my childhood.
That is true, but like The Fly, she was in. There are more as you flip through here. She's been in a lot.
Still have never seen The Fly.
Oh.
Full
Is that
admittance.
why I think she hasn't aged? Because
You haven't watched her.
Yeah.
haven't seen her since.
Yeah. Well,
she's aged.
again, she's been doing
Has
things.
she?
It's just we haven't.
Not like in a horrible bad way, but she's just 70 or something.
Yeah. Michael Keaton plays Beetlejuice himself.
You may know him obviously as the original Batman with Tim Burton, or if you're Mark, you might love him most in Jack Frost. I don't know if we did that or not, but go see it anyway.
I think we might have done Jack Frost.
I think we
love
did.
Jack Frost.
I do kind of have a soft spot for it.
You know what role I like him in the last 15 years the most? He's as he's the police chief and the other guys.
Oh yeah.
Or sorry, the other guys, right? Yeah, it's not like a super funny joke, but that callback to "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls" and all those TL songs, it got me. Birdman, check out Birdman.
He seems like an interesting, weird guy, but like a likable guy. I played Batman again in the most recent Flash. It's a bad movie, but he's good in it.
Got to start in stand up. Went into movies, kind of like goofy comedies, and then became Batman. Yeah, I think he was like an early comedian, like in the Comedy Store days with like Richard Pryor and that stuff, and just
really
kind of went into acting and stuff. Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara plays Lydia.
Get ready for Home Alone coming up in Christmas, but for our family in particular, we've always known her as like part of the Christopher Guest family. Mighty Win, Best in Show. What's the first one?
Schitt's Creek might be like the culmination of her character work.
True.
Like that's kind of.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Of course.
It seems like everything she's worked to, like they tailored a character for Schitt's Creek, and it just was her.
Of course, Schitt's Creek. Our family would hate us.
Her most tame character is Kevin's McAllister's mom. Yeah. Jeffrey Jones plays Charles.
You're gonna know him from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's the principal chasing for Ferris. Unfortunately, there's controversy around him. I'm pretty sure he had child pornography or something.
He is a sex offender now. I believe it was having child porn on his computer. So he has not been in the business for quite some time.
No.
You're into what you're into, aren't you?
Pass on that. I'm not yeah.
Winona Ryder plays Lydia.
Also,
Edward Scissorhands. I think, this is unverified, Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder married the next year once she turned 18. I think he was like 5 years older. They were married during the filming, I believe, of
Edward Scissorhands.
Only for like 4 years, though.
He famously has the tattoo, Winona Forever, Wino Forever, that he changed.
He really, really leaned into that tattoo, though. It seems like he's got balls deep in wine.
That's true.
Like, so deep. Like, crazy deep.
Obviously, nowadays, Stranger Things. Shout out to the family. Little Women. Girl Interrupted.
Heathers.
Oh, Heathers. Yeah, that's a cool classic.
We may do Heathers sometime. Admittedly, one of my favorite at-home watches at my parents' house is the VHS of Little Women, because I'm never going to watch it on my own here, but it's there, and I've watched it
a lot, which is always so odd to me. You do love it.
It's real long, just like that movie. Never read the book.
Amount of music videos.
Really?
There's a Cher music video she's in. There's a Soul Asylum music video she's in. Motorhead Mojo. Yeah, she's just in a lot of music videos too, apparently.
Huh,
She
interesting.
kind of made a huge career comeback though with
I mean, Stranger Things and
Stranger
Things.
Things.
Yeah.
She was gone. She was gone for a while since like Mr. Deeds. Like hadn't
Oh
seen
yeah, Mr. Deeds.
shoplifted and
We
stuff.
might have done Mr. Deeds. Go back and check for that. I don't know if we did.
I doubt
You'd
it.
be surprised. The early days.
Glenn Shaddix plays Otho. Take it away, boys.
I mean, I don't know if I know him from anything else in particular. I know he passed away quite a while ago.
I primarily know him from this. I'm sure that our mom listening and other people know him from more. But I don't.
It says
and we
he's
didn't
also
research
most
it.
known for Heathers. He's the mayor from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Sure, but
And Senator Nato in Planet of the Apes. I believe the remake with
the Tim Burton 1999 version.
2001. But yeah.
2001.
but
My
he
bad. My apologies.
Passed away. I can't find. Oh, 2010. Sorry.
Tony Cox plays the preacher, like in the costume. He's the
Like the little alien?
The little alien. Yeah. Bad Santa, Spaceballs. So worth noting,
Nice.
I think.
Nice.
I mean, a big star-studded cast, though. Lots of things we've already touched on in the careers. Make sure you go back and check out the catalog. But we're going to move it on to Unverified. Welcome to the Cult Classics Movie Phone. It's March 30th, 1988, and currently in theaters you could have seen The Seventh Sign with Demi Moore, Pillsbury Blues with Matthew Broderick and Christopher Walken, Johnny B. Good with Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Downey Jr., Off Limits with Willem Dafoe, Moving with Richard Pryor, Masquerade with Rob Lowe,
Why hide such a pretty face?
Switching Channels with Kathleen Turner, Christopher Reeves, and Burt Reynolds, and The House on Carroll Street with Jeff Daniels and Kelly McGillis. But you chose Beetlejuice.
Yeah, can I be honest? Hand up.
Yeah.
Seen none of them.
No, neither have I. And there were so many more on the
Zero
list
of
that
them.
I was like, is this... I don't even know if they're relevant, which was the problem. But that's...
There might be some good gems in there.
But those are the ones
No.
I chose. I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't be alone if you saw this because it had a $15 million budget and it at the box office it grossed $74.7 million.
That's not
the
too
split?
shabby.
Which isn't which isn't a smash hit, but I think given the budget it is, it's just become it's in the zeitgeist, you know.
And this kind of leads
Beetlejuice.
into it, but funny enough, they had a little bit of relatively small budget for the cast and like the scope of the movie. But that was because specifically Tim Burton wanted it to feel like kind of a B movie with the sets and just the design of it. So they were able to skimp a lot on, all the practical effects they used and the sets.
Well, all of Saturn.
Yeah.
Let's just talk. They didn't really try too hard there. Just throw up a green screen there, huh? Except for the door.
The original working titles for this, the studio originally wanted to call it House Ghost. And as a joke, Tim Burton suggested Scared Sheetless. But the studio ended up liking Scared Sheetless more, so he quickly pivoted to just Beetlejuice.
that reminds me. I think the idea came up from just like Poltergeist. There was kind of like it wasn't a spoof on it, but they kind of flipped the idea of scary ghosts. So like it being a Tim Burton kind of lighthearted, funny movie. So House Ghost is kind of like that. You mentioned that.
It's not the ghosts that are the problem; it's the living bioexorcism.
Right. First notable film besides Spaceballs, Big, and Caddyshack. So I guess not first.
Pretty
One of four.
big movies.
Containing the F word in a PG-rated film.
It always
PG-13 era.
It always stands out.
Yeah, but also the rating system was so weird. So they just had like G and R, you know what I mean?
True. I think we've talked about it a million times, but it wasn't until Poltergeist that we had to start getting the PG-13 in there, and clearly they didn't give a fuck.
When you honk your dick and balls, where do you put that? PG-13, PG? I don't know.
If you were to play this role, if you were Tim Burton, how would you describe the role as Beetlejuice to Michael Keaton?
How would
like child support dad?
Tim Burton, when he was describing to Michael Keaton the character of Beetlejuice, he says he has lived in every time period, but no time period.
Well, I get the no time period for sure.
He does get
lived
cultural
in every
references
time,
from
but
everywhere,
no
it seems.
time.
But
Michael Keaton's like, don't worry, I got it.
What Michael Keaton said is he showed up in character with the shocking teeth, and the crew started chanting "juice, juice, juice" when he got on set.
Oh, Mike, you brought your own teeth. Fuck.
Oh,
okay.
Want to know a fun thing on that though? Michael Keaton ad-libbed 90% of his lines in the movie.
That's funny. It feels like it, doesn't it?
He's a funny guy, guys. Again, comedian.
It works with that type of character, I think. You know,
For sure.
And I'm led to believe from Jack Frost that I think he can play the harmonica.
Yeah,
I think
he
everybody
can play the
kind
harmonica.
of play the harmonica,
Well,
right? Right?
He can't drive worth shit in the snow, though. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I don't even know if it was him driving. Oh, it was. Go back and see Jack Frost.
Yeah, but he was being driven by his needy son, and that's what drove him to his grave. Oh, what, you want me home for Christmas?
Got a little Netflix fact for you here. This was the first DVD sent out in 1998.
I love this one.
Beetlejuice.
That's the first one.
First movie.
That's a stunning fact.
And it was also the first one and never returned.
Grandma's Boy was the most stolen movie. That was
Really?
Blockbuster, though.
Wait, what was it?
Grandma's Boy was the most not returned movie from Blockbuster.
So I learned a
this
little
shit.
scam. I learned a little scam that you could just email them every once in a while and be like, hey, I mailed it back, but I haven't gotten anything in return. And they're just like, yeah, well, that happens. And then they just send you a new one, and you just have their DVD in the sleeve.
Nice.
Did you guys know that Netflix existed in '98?
Hell no.
I sure did.
No one did.
No, I did like 2007. Yeah, 2007.
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
which is 10 years, a decade later. Crazy.
Fun romantic production fact here. Catherine O'Hara met her future husband, Bob Welch, while making this film. According to Bob, Tim Burton.
Are they still together? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Are they still together?
I think so. I don't know.
I think so,
though. According to Tim Burton, he said that you should ask her out near the end of filming. Didn't even occur to Bob that he should, because he's not supposed to talk to actors as part of production. But since Tim gave him the go-ahead, he asked her out, and they're married today. Yeah, it says here.
Oh,
Still together.
nice little meet cute.
Mhm. That's fun.
I was always curious about the. I actually had to look this up, just specifically, but the spelling of Beetlejuice,
It's been
the
That did
tombstone.
trip my
it's been
trigger.
all over the place for me, but I'm just going Beetle and Juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just it was Tim Burton's, like, it adds eccentricity, and it kind of creates a little extra little note in the movie, and I'm like,
I suppose that if
but
it
you
adds
never
to
see
the origin of
Beetlejuice
Beetle,
spelled out like phonetically anywhere else. It kind of pisses me.
No, and
I suppose it adds to the origin story that him and Michael Keaton only know about. That you're of everywhere but from nowhere.
Even Alec Baldwin can't pronounce it at the beginning. He's like
Beetlejuice. That is the correct spelling. It is a star in the constellation Orion. So there seems to be a weird space connection.
Well, it's like the Italian name, like Giuseppe. It's spelled with like a G-E-U-S-E.
It's
like,
confusing, yeah.
Imagine Giuseppe spelled like juice, orange Giuseppe.
Giuseppe.
Funny.
When Glenn Shaddix, who played Otho, died in 2010, the last song performed at his memorial service was Deo, the Banana Boat song.
No way.
Yeah, that was the last song in his memorial,
No.
which is a fun.
When you hear that song, do you like
Deo.
associate that song with this movie?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
a category I was gonna get on to in questions, comments, but it's along those lines of, if it wasn't in this movie, would I know it? And this has got to be maybe number one for me. Like, there's ones that, like Unchained Melody and Ghost, you probably would have known
Tequila
it
in the
eventually.
Sandlot.
Yeah, like, but it's synonymous with the movie. Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody, probably would have heard it. Probably would have heard it, but who knows?
But
If
Wayne's
it wa-
World.
But Wayne's World, you know what I mean? This is up there
That's a
for
good
it.
point. Yep.
So there is currently Beetlejuice 2 in works now. We've been seeing production pictures and stuff. But because of
I
this...
think they're trying to bring a lot of people back too.
Well, I think so. Winona Ryder for sure has been in, I've seen, and Michael Keaton. Because of this box...
You might get Gina Davis back, and how are you going to age those ghosts?
I think
It's
we've
like,
moved on
They're
from...
done. New
yeah,
story.
they moved on.
They moved on, or they got trapped in an exorcism.
But because of the movie's box office success, they immediately got the go-ahead for Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii, and a script was commissioned. Michael Keaton and
like
Winona...
Don't.
Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder both signed on, but Tim Burton lost interest and he decided to focus on Batman and Batman Returns instead.
Probably a smart choice.
Great choice.
Speaking of that, he seems picky and choosy, because this I'm reading here. According to Tim Burton, it took a lot of time to convince the cast members to sign, as they thought the script was too weird. Gina Davis was the only cast member who was to commit to the project at the time. Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, and Sylvia Sidney all said no at least once. What I learned from that is, don't take no for an answer.
Just keep pushing, Tim Burton.
Keep pushing.
Tim Burton.
But on
they
that,
say yes, you got to keep pushing.
I don't feel like I disagree with them saying no. It's like, I don't know.
it's a little
This just doesn't
kooky.
seem like the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also on that, according to producer Larry Wilson, the original ending and some of the script was a lot darker. It used to end with Winona Ryder's character, Lydia, dying in a fire and joining her friends, the Maitlands, in the afterlife.
It definitely seems like a realistic outcome that she would have ended in death, right?
I think she would have preferred that almost, no?
In quote, a family
She
movie.
had
Yeah.
definite problems that needed to be, she needs help.
Addressed, yeah.
This comes up with quite a few of our movies, but included in the American Film Institute's 2000 list of top 100 funniest American films.
I agree, but you take out Michael Keaton's character.
Agreed.
It's lower 50,
depiction?
though, for me, probably.
Yeah.
As far
Yeah, the
It's
AFI
sub
though,
50.
the AFI's comedies are not like
they're a little more nostalgic.
Like Tootsie's on there and stuff.
Sure.
They're like good films that happen to be funny, not
Yeah.
like
A little
lot
more
of
rom, a little
comedies.
less calm, you know?
Yeah. The only other thing I have is, do you guys know about the TV show Community and the Easter egg they had?
Oh, no.
No, I don't
I know
actually.
Community, but...
Right. Yeah. I don't know the Easter egg.
In the
though.
first 3 seasons, in different episodes throughout those seasons, a character would say Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the third time, someone dressed as Beetlejuice walks by in the background. That's all. It was just a slow build up for that over 3 seasons.
I'm going to bring that up later, but that's fucking hilarious. I love that. I love that.
I guess this won't add for future like people wanting to listen to Beetlejuice podcast, but we're in the Halloween season. Go back and watch some Community Halloween episodes.
They were great.
Good.
They were really good.
They're fucking slammers.
That's all I had. There was a lot of good material on this, so there's more probably, too.
Yeah, I had to stop looking at some point. This is a beloved movie, so there's naturally a lot of lore and fun and facts around it. So if there's anything major we're missing, make sure to write us in. But we're going to move on to questions.
Comments.
Animosities.
First thing, I just have to say a comment. The detail of grass and some of the things in that model on the flyby are amazing. The patterns in the grass, the patchiness. Then we move into that.
Right at the jump?
Yeah, just that flyover
Is
credits.
that it? I couldn't tell.
Oh, it's a model.
See, are you sure? Because
I
I remembered it being a model.
I feel like it switches. I feel like there's a halfway point where it switches. No?
There might have to be, because the detail on that grass in the beginning is perfect. But I think it's all a model. But then we get into like miniature size, and the grass looks like shit close up.
Grass
so I
looks
don't-
like ass.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. But yeah.
No, good point, though. Because there is a halfway point where, like, it doesn't look like people moving. It looks like figurines
It's
there.
definitely figurines, yeah.
And,
But
like, the vehicles don't look like they're real.
the houses still look a little fake. Still, it's a model the whole time, I think.
Let us know.
I don't-
Rewatch that, because I think halfway there's got to be a switch where
Yeah.
they trick us.
If anybody
There's a-
knows for sure, write in. I could see it being a
I don't
trick.
want to harp on it too much, but my gosh, I'll tell you what. I respect and like to see a model. I think you're batshit crazy if you make them. I love the craftsmanship. I love to see it.
It's a crazy.
If I met somebody and I went down your basement, I'd be like, weird use of your basement, but pretty solid model.
Better or worse, though, if there's a working train in that city, though. It's more of a trick.
Come on.
Better. I think it goes. I think I think you tier it. I think if there's a train involved, it's 1. General cityscape, it's 2, and then maybe just like plaster of Paris volcano is maybe 3.
I mean, if you get a volcano in there, you're golden.
I think
I myself like a
more
little
science
fake.
fair.
What is this
but-
landscape?
I like a little fake waterway. Let it be the river. Let it be the ocean. You let me know. Just
Nah, that
plastic
never
on the
looks
top.
real. I hate it.
Oh, I love it. I love the fakeness of
You
it.
put well, yeah. What you do is you put a little fish in there. You know.
There you go.
It's what's the clear stuff?
Cellophane?
Epoxy. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it's
sure.
epo-
Yeah,
epoxy, yeah.
You just epoxy that up. There's some fish in there. Whatever.
That's how you do it. 2 animosities. One's pretty minor. You don't pick up a spider that big with your bare hand. At the very beginning, Alec Baldwin, get a
I
piece
thought it
of
was
paper.
a pet.
No, it's ridiculous. It's huge.
A tarantula that's a pet you pick up. a brown recluse, what he picked up.
Yeah, you don't know what that is. That's a dustpan. That's a piece of paper. That's a squash.
Go back and listen to our Arachnophobia, right? We did that
movie.
once.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
If I'm Alec, I'm saying, Tim, not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it, Tim.
Bigger animosity, maybe just more of a comment, but I think that's a survivable crash off that bridge. That's like 8 feet, maybe. It's not a hard impact.
We talked about that, so they had to just drown.
Well, yeah, I think when they even go to the afterlife offices, it says they drown, but...
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that you would die from that. Maybe, though.
Those 70s, 80s Chevys, they're tough to get out of, though. You know,
that could be...
Oh, and on top of that, they definitely weren't wearing seatbelts.
But that's definitely a manual... That's a manual window for sure, though, so it's not like a... There shouldn't be an issue getting it down. You'd think.
Even more on top of that, in that town, people just don't give a shit that they went in the...
Oh, like somebody should have been 20
up
yards away. Someone could have jogged over. And
they were
20 ways away from everybody.
The Brooklyn Bridge or whatever
They're
they call
it.
Oh,
God, now we're going to have to do another bake sale.
Oh, yes. Also, this is a trickle
Girl
down.
Scouts are going to have to get involved.
Yeah, God damn it.
This is a trickle down from Unverified, but this would lead into a question. Everybody looks like how they died in the offices. They're not wet. It was specifically a production thing. They just didn't want to continuously
They didn't want to deal with it?
They didn't want to keep them wet on set. Yeah,
I think that's smart. What, do you think that would have added to the story, production, if they were wet the whole time? I think that would have taken away. It would have been too much.
Continuity purposes, I would have liked it stuck with the story, but also continuity-wise, it would have sucked to keep them the right amount of wet.
What about the green receptionist? What happened to her? She slit her wrist and she turned green?
I guess that's what color happens when you're
That's what. Okay. Well, I don't know.
Her little accident. Yeah.
I totally noticed it. Growing up, though, watching it, it never made anything, and it didn't ruin the story to me at all. But rewatching it for the podcast, I'm like, wait a second, how'd they get past?
As I got older,
is it because they're still homeowners and everybody else is just trapped in the afterlife? What's going on?
Part of an HOA, yeah.
Yeah, like Jesus, lucky.
Which brings up,
I'll say it because I'll forget it. Love the smoke coming out of the neck on their caseworker. That's all I'm saying. One. I don't know how she died exactly, but
my favorite
smoke's coming out of her neck.
This is unverified. The burnt corpse. Who's like, you want a cigarette?
Yeah.
You want a cigarette?
I'm really trying to come back.
Apparently, he's like a special effects, artist in a lot of movies. Maybe in some Tim Burton movies.
Oh, nice.
So he just played that guy.
That's funny.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions just about the rules of this, but number one, just I guess animosity. You gotta read the book, even if it reads like stereo instructions. Especially after you fall onto Saturn with random worms, which I'm going to want to get into.
What chapter is that?
You have to read the book. After that happens to you, because number one, I need to know the rules of where I can go. And they say in the movie it's different for everybody, but like, can I go into town? I can't go into town. Like, what? Like, I can have multiple homes. Do I get to travel? Like,
it's different for every. What do you mean it's different for everybody?
Their caseworker,
they do say that in the lobby.
They're saying everybody's casework is different. I think that's how they work with them, right? But that turns out a lot of people are just going to hell probably, but they're like, I guess you get to stay in your house.
What happens if you're homeless?
I think you're in the waiting
room. You have a stretch block, and then if you go past that, you end up on Saturn with worms?
So I guess the big question is, once you find yourself in the sandworm situation, you probably do look more closely at that book.
Yeah, a lot.
We got to figure it out.
We sit down and we have a lot of time. Let's figure out all the rules.
And they never explain sandworms, right?
No.
They explain what happens with an exorcism. You kind of get stuck in real death or whatever. What do you think happens if you get eaten by a sandworm?
Well, Beetlejuice does, and he ends up in the lobby. So I don't think it's that bad.
That's not even the end of the world, then.
No. You see Kevin and Bacon and Fred Ward running by because it's just tremors out there.
It does feel a lot like
it feels like tremors.
And just to clarify, also, these are sandworms on Saturn. So do these exist on our realm? Is this like, what's up with Afterlife where there's space involved at
Cameron,
all?
There's a rule book. The fuck are you talking about?
I'm just so confused about the afterlife, I guess. I mean, the religion seems...
I do want to completely get to a lot of the likes we have, but this is just
Cameron's
more like...
religion's out the window, I guess?
What do we think this afterlife is? Do you think like the caseworkers are in hell? Did you think that all like the people stuck? Like, where are we at?
It has to be, or some sort of punishment, because how do you have to have a job in the afterlife?
Yeah,
or is that like, I'm bored at home, I'll sign up for some volunteer work?
Well, if that's the case, I definitely could see the Adam character, really. It's like, I got to get a day
he's
job.
definitely going to end up in the office. But I see a lot of people... hell.
Not wanting
Yeah,
them.
that's hell for them.
I just rewatched all of Breaking Bad. It does seem sort of like a Better Call Saul, like sketchy lawyer, like waiting room situation.
Oh yeah, these were people that made mistakes and were bad and have to do some good deeds. Yeah. Oh, okay. Also, huge question on this. So, Beetlejuice is just like a former clerical worker who's just begrudging.
Yeah,
well, I'm a little confused about his origin. He's timeless, and yet he's dead.
The two main characters, caseworkers, like, hey, Beetlejuice is a bad egg. Not like evil or anything. It's just like he was tough to work with. So I don't know where he went to. I was a little confused about that. Right? What made him? Was Beetlejuice exiled? Like, where was he?
That's what it seems to me.
He was in
exiled to where and what?
A grave, but then somehow he moved that grave into a model.
He moved it though because he wasn't in their house.
That's
right?
a great question. They dug him up in the what?
Well, he was.
They made a door. He was reading
right?
like the obituaries, right? So he found his way there.
Yeah, he made his way to them, but he's just trapped. It seems like in a genie lamp of a little coffin situation.
Can I ask this?
Of course, you can.
Beetlejuice. I'm not going to say it again.
Sure.
Wise. When can I say it again? 10 minutes from now, if
they
I say
don't
it again,
specify.
Am I fucked? I'm like. Or like next, like when does it reset?
New sentence.
I guess the third Beetle.
Either 30 seconds later, or when you start a new sentence.
Yeah, it feels like it has to be within like
it.
So if I said Beetlejuice now, 2 days later I gave you another BJ, and then a couple days later I gave you a BG. You know what I mean? Does that count?
I think
does that count?
I think they all count. Yeah, I think they count.
Well, then the second one definitely counts, and I'll take you up on that.
yeah, there you go.
Oh, also just missed opportunity. Beetlejuice 2 is coming out. Should have called it Beetlejuice. Sets you up for a third final chapter.
That's true.
And then people have to say it. Yeah, I'll take a ticket.
Can I say I don't know we're gonna go after this, but can I just say in general, isn't it? I'm baffled that this is a mainstream family movie. It doesn't make any sense. Like,
I don't know if it is though. Is it?
It just. When did you see it? As a kid?
Yeah, but I didn't have it on VHS or the first Netflix DVD. I didn't have it.
But
I saw it at Cameron's house. I saw it at my cousin's house.
At our house.
I saw.
Yeah, okay,
so we're the problem. I see this.
You're the.
Right. But I think a lot of people saw this as kids. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like Beetlejuice himself is not a family-friendly character by any means. He's fucking hilarious and dirty and raunchy. But it's like a family movie, and it deals with the afterlife, death.
It plays a little bit like an Austin Powers movie.
A little bit, and I thought that, and that'll go along with maybe, spoiler alert, maybe not. I don't know. You tell me.
Just throwaway question. How long would it take you to realize you're dead? They just show up on the doorstep.
A lot longer than them. Couple sandworm trips. I'll tell you this much. I would have gotten if sandworms take you to the lobby, I would have gotten there like way quicker.
So you're telling me you're the football team? Hey, coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jordan's like, babe, we got some bad mushrooms.
But this is a real question. Is it just home ownership? If you die in the wild, which they did, they died in the river. I think that's
part of the book. I think if you,
what a classism way.
If they just would have read the book.
It's tough, Biden, huh?
Could you haunt your work or something? Is there something you can tie yourself down to not have to go do afterlife ghost work?
I think it's all
karma.
Can I
just say animosity? I want more Beetlejuice.
He is only in 15, minutes or so of the movie. I think
it's 14 and a half minutes is the exact time.
And he doesn't even come in until 20 or so minutes or something like that, or maybe more.
He's kind of like the shark in Jaws, only he delivers way more, if you ask me. But he's not in the movie that much, I agree. But do you think if he was in it too much, it would kind of dilute the punch that he gives? Because I did wonder that.
Something tells me we're about to find out in the sequel.
You're saying they leave you wanting more, and that, okay.
Well, I don't know if they leave me wanting more, but
it's not too
since
much.
He's in it so little, he just comes fucking balls to the wall. The best scene has got to be the introduction to when
in the graveyard.
Yeah,
the graveyard.
There's like 20 funny things in there. It just is so hilarious.
Oh, also
He's one after another, one-liner.
Trickle
I
down
didn't
on
realize Michael
verified.
Keaton was so funny like that. Like,
It's hilarious. Trickle down on verified. That was a ripoff of a local car commercial that was airing in the time in California.
I'll say anything you want me to say. I do that thing.
That specifically was like making fun of a local car ad.
Oh, what a funny burn. The two jokes that get me, and this is from the time I'm a kid, when he kicks over the tree and he says nice effing models and honk honks.
His dick and balls, honk honk.
Yeah,
is so good.
It might be my favorite part of the movie still. I just can't get
Jordan,
enough
do you know
of
the
that.
best fact of that?
What's that?
Wasn't supposed to fall over. That was an ad-lib line because he actually kicked over the thing.
But it was a perfect segue because then whoever
is picking up.
Put the tree back up and the model like that's a good little segue.
When it comes to the model and they're digging up Beetlejuice, I was honest to God as a kid confused what all the cardboard was. I'm like, later on as I got older, I'm like, oh, it's a model.
Yeah, as an adult though, I just realized that's impossible.
They don't introduce
those little
him
shovels.
being in the model that well. I will say that like.
Yeah, that confused me.
All of a sudden, he's like trying to dig through the shitty grass, the model grass, when he's in the model.
Yeah.
And that's not shovel
turf.
stage. Most of that is peel a layer. You can see the edges, for God's sake.
Yeah, you would never be able to break through with a shovel.
No, it would be impossible. It's corkboard.
Especially not a little plastic shovel that you'd get with a model. No.
I gotta go back. Almost one of my favorite jokes during this time, though, is when he like mimics jerking off. It's just
when
so
he just
fucking
turns
hilarious.
around. And
I
just,
was stunned by. I'm like, oh my god.
It's probably not the first time I saw it, but man, it really landed with me. It is hilarious.
Funny enough, I watched that with friend Chris Reimer, and he laughed hysterically. Then he's like, "Oh, I don't remember the jerk off thing."
I don't remember that. This would actually be one, and this is a point we brought up before. Mm-hmm. We've all seen this movie a handful of times, but I haven't rewatched it like beginning to end for a very long time, right? And you, Cameron, watched it with Chris. This would be great to watch late night, like a midnight showing at the Logan. Like everybody cracking up and like just paying attention to it. I wish I would.
Tim Burton produced the cartoon that came after like a year or two.
I'm glad you bring this up. It was on roughly right when my brothers and sisters got out of school when I was a toddler, and I was too young to be left home alone. So I would catch the intro to this every day. And then I would have to go with my mom to pick up my brothers and sisters. And by the time I was old enough to stay home alone, I was going to school the whole time. So I just never really got to watch that show. But I was always so intrigued by it.
I don't think I remember seeing it. I mean, I remember it being a cartoon, but I don't remember an episode.
Was Beetlejuice and Lydia having wacky adventures.
I mean, there were other cartoons like this. I definitely watched like the Ghostbusters cartoons, the animated, cartoons based off movies.
Oh, Cameron, you Lydia and Beetlejuice having wacky adventures. Was it weird that Beetlejuice
child bride and kidnapper? Yeah.
What was that? What do you think about that?
What, for the cartoon?
No, just for the movie. Like he was like, I've got to be married to break the curse and all this and right.
It goes back to him just being
he's a scumbag.
It goes back to him just being a clerical worker too. Like, who placed this weird curse on him? Why is it a Rumpelstiltskin thing where we have to say his name to banish him? That's not too hard.
What's their caseworker's name? Is it June or Juno?
Juno.
Okay, Juno.
Sorry.
She could have explained so much more about Beetlejuice. It's like he's just a bad guy.
Jordan, if you also hint though, like she's like, he used to work for me. It's kind of her problem, it seems like. She's like, you have to take care of this immediately. This will come back to me.
All the while smoke like coming out of her trachea. Like, am I supposed to believe this lady? Edna Mode?
That might have been one of the best special effects to me as a kid. I'm like, how do they do this?
And then, well, at the time for me, it was the sandworms. I'm like, how did they get them to Saturn?
Sandworms. How many times has Beetlejuice got eaten by a sandworm?
Oh, random fact. There were Beetlejuice action figures after this movie, and the characters that came out were Beetlejuice, Adam wearing a red hat that's never featured in the movie, the shrunken head guy, which had also an attachable full-size head to show you what he looked like. And there was
don't like that. Want to keep it shrunken.
And there's one more random character that you're like, oh, I think Ortho was the other character.
Weird choice.
Yeah, all the action.
Ortho in black or Ortho at the end?
I have to imagine the fun
what's his name? Is it Ortho?
Oh, I do have just one probably last major question on just the rules of this whole afterlife thing. They keep saying you have 125 years.
Cameron doesn't like the rule book.
What? I wish I knew it.
I don't either.
Otho.
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry.
We probably
Otho.
messed that up a lot. But
Cameron, go on. Sorry.
they keep saying you have 125 years. What happens after that?
I'm pretty sure you end up in the floating
that
room.
one room with the lost
not an
souls?
option. Yeah, you're
Live it
It's
up.
that or
Well,
it's that or you're one of
these
the
are
people
answers
on
that-
hooks handing memos. They're going to put you to work now.
Even worse. Although, who doesn't like that guy in the hook? The flat. That guy cracks.
Which
me
guy?
up. Yeah, the flattened out guy that got smashed by
Well,
the bus.
Jordan, you
know.
can't just get that
Oh.
job. You have to land in that job by getting flattened in life.
The guy that's in the anti-weed commercials who slumps in the couch. Yeah.
yeah. I will say though, as a kid and even now, the guy that's like on a noose, still scary.
terrifying.
Still a little scary.
But if I'm
Isn't it
Adam,
like
and,
that,
if I'm Adam and I'm the Maitlands and I'm going in, I keep hearing them say, "Oh, the 125 years," and I haven't read the book. They aren't concerned at all. I'm like, well, what happens then?
Read a book.
yeah, I don't feel like they came out by the end of this movie knowing much more about the afterlife, but they've got a better living situation or non-living
Still
situation.
haven't finished the book. I bet.
Can
No,
yeah,
you'll
they've
get to
never.
it. It's
yeah,
kind of like
that's on them.
Daredevil in the White City. It's really heavy. At the
It seems crazy
Can
that
I
they also
say-
give out a book for the living. It seems like they should be, I don't know, less involved and hiding a little more. That's it.
Well, who dropped off the book too? Like, seems like you have to go pick up the book.
You think that'd just be a podcast now or a book on tape? Yeah, it's just there. Yeah, that would be.
No, just like a weird creature like that alien shows up in your house unexpected. And it's like, and like,
I feel mostly bad for the football team, to be honest.
Oh, also during that scene, they mentioned a real plane crash that hit the side of a mountain, and like they mentioned over the intercom, like, can the flight of blah blah blah. They mentioned like
No,
I think
they
2 real
don't.
fatal crashes
They
from
do.
like years previous. They do.
Oh my
Oh, really? That's kind of funny. I don't know if Catherine O'Hara got as Delia goes full O'Hara.
Oh, she
but
does.
She's on the tips and the toes of it. And I like her.
Just
you think
as
she's
much
all
as
in? Yeah, she's getting all in.
Yeah, and I like it. Honestly, though, everyone hits on in this movie. Even then, like
Honestly,
nice building.
Otho's
Yeah,
fucking
like everyone has like funny
I love
lines.
him so much. I can't wait to recast him.
Oh,
Not because I
Otho's
don't
is-
love him, but like I think that he's such a great character that there's a lot of people who could do him justice as well.
I have one for him. He's one of the better ones I think of. But I think pound for pound, scene for scene, you take out Beetlejuice,
Yes.
he hits as hard as anybody else in
I'd
the
agree.
movie.
I think we have to give props to Michael Keaton. How short he is in the movie, it does pack the punch.
100%.
Everything he says is hilarious. But Otho holds it all together. He's the glue in there.
I feel like we didn't talk about Winona Ryder a lot. It's
Her hair
surprising
keeps getting
because
crazier.
she's in the movie. It feels like she's in.
I hate the bang.
Yeah, the
Don't
bangs
like her
get out of
bangs.
hand.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, she's so iconic with the movie, but the Lydia character's like kind of barely in a lot of scenes. You know, she does get some beat. She's really with
The Maitlands.
Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin the most. Really, you know, just kind of getting mentorship.
My fear is that
It's really
You know who's
I spawn a Lydia is, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
because she
She
needs
needs help.
She needs
Yeah,
help.
but-
She
Not
needs
from this side of
emotional,
it.
mental
Yeah,
health.
Yeah, not from this side of the world either.
Yeah, but if she is gonna get haunted by ghosts, what a two great nurturing ghosts to get. You know.
Nice big house, 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom.
Oh, I do have two animosities left. Actually, strongly one.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the movie, we go back to the original decor of the house, and I know they're redecorating it to be. I just don't think it would be that easy. They did it super quick.
No, they did a lot of heavy construction in there. They moved walls.
Secondly,
Yeah,
this is
they
a
did
question.
stuff.
There's a house that was like in Chicago in your guys' old neighborhood on Hoyne that really reminded me of the Beetlejuice house. Had like, do you guys remember that
I
one?
kind of do.
It's got like
There's like a
it
zebra
heavily
out front.
did.
It's kind of like looks like Frank
Yeah.
Lloyd Wright. Like, yeah, I kind of get what you're
Very
saying.
angle, and I remember it
Yeah,
had
yeah.
like I'd always bring this up with Megan, but it had like I feel like blue railings, and I know that's not exactly this, but it really looked like a remodeled.
It's funny you say that. I do remember exactly what you're talking about. There's a lot of those kind of like sprinkled around the Bucktown Wicker Park area.
Yeah, like they were edgy in 1988 after this movie, but they aged about the same way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the thing with trends, guys. You got to go for classic. You know, if you
trends.
stay with the trend, it's out the door the next. Look at Cameron in his baggy Jinkos again and his baggy shirts. He's like, it'll
they're
never
in.
die.
Hey, they're in.
I know for
They're
now.
in.
Keep it loose. Keep it cozy. I just have two more things to say. Number one comment, it's a very small town to have just an all-girls school, and terrifying that it seems to be
I don't want to
one-room
shade these people,
schoolhouse.
but I thought every one of those all-girls looked 45 years old. I'm like, this is Jesus
a little
Christ.
Yeah, it turns out it takes place in Salem, Massachusetts. Is what's
true.
going on.
It's just perms.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe at the end. And lastly, just question, you guys still eating that shrimp?
I'm hungry. I haven't had a bite to eat all day.
I
love.
I'm gonna say no because it's gross looking. It's
Yeah,
huge.
they're prawns is what they are. They're prawns.
They're prongs. I've got to imagine that you probably don't want to eat there anyway, whatever they're serving. You know what I mean? Probably going to get a spot.
Yeah,
there.
but you're
One
rude
side
not
note-
to take a bite though.
Yeah, you would eat it, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be excited. So after it grabbed my face, I probably wouldn't eat it.
After the song, they were stoked. They're like, we look what happened.
So during that, they definitely were possessed, but they leaned into it. They're like, we're going with it. This is fun. We're into it. How aggressively did they...
You want to go home.
Well, animosity there. Do you want what would have been a lot easier? Possess them and make them strangle themselves for 30 seconds. Skip all the fun song and dance and just scare them. Strangle them. Just
movie.
strangle
I think
them.
they did it all right. What a weird movie. Like, I like it. We all like it, but it's a weird.
True.
The whole story itself, even if you take Beetlejuice out, which I think you need, obviously, but the rest of everything that surrounds him is weird. It's macabre. It's dark. It's sad.
I would agree with that.
It's real sad. When they're dying,
But it was funny, and it's still lighthearted and funny, and that's why it works.
I think fatherhood's
though, you know?
changed me in this aspect. When they're like dying and going into the exorcism, when they grab hands, I'm like, oh, this is real sad. This is like Titanic when those people just accept
Yeah.
death.
Those two old people, those are the people that own Macy's.
Turns out in 1998, Phil Collins came out with A Groovy Kind of Love. They could have sang that song instead.
Oh, I did read on Verified that they weren't sure about the music choice. They did have other options. And Tim Burton didn't think this was going to be funny enough in the movie, and he wanted to cut it. But
I don't know if
It's
it's
so
funny, but
iconic.
it's so weird. It's such a weird choice, but they went in.
That was, I think, his worry that it was weirder than
But
funny.
it worked. Like, I'm not like falling
Works.
off my ass like somebody mimicking jerking off, but like it's definitely more iconic.
Because it's their faces while they're dancing, like the tarantula. Like every once in a while, you just get
I'd
a
say
fun
that's
move
when
from
you
one
get
of
the,
them.
the most O'Hare, Catherine O'Hare, when she's dancing.
Yes.
Yeah. Side note, definitely didn't remember Robert Goulet was in this movie. So the dad had a mental breakdown or something. He went to like Connecticut or wherever the fuck
he had anxiety issues, had to leave. I'm guessing Wall Street or real estate, of
something
some
like
sort
that.
in New York?
Ask yourself this: prior to rewatching this, did any of that matter to you growing? Like, that didn't even. I'm like,
I didn't
they got a
exact-
new house. It's haunted.
Oh, actually, my last animosity. I'm sorry. Their handbook should never be visible to anybody.
Oh,
living.
that pissed
The
me
fact
off. That
Otho
actually
can-
does piss me off. I agree.
The fact that Otho can steal that, like, where are these ghosts supposed to hide a book in a house that they no longer own? Like,
Do you think it's because they presented themselves to the living, and that's why? It's not explained, but that really does.
I mean, there's
make me
also
mad.
a good chance. There's a good chance paragraph 2 is like, remember to say hooky booky to hide the book, or something very obvious at the
It's
beginning.
always chapter 2.
I will say this. I know it's synonymous with Halloween programming, but for me, it's not a Halloween watch. I could watch this any month of the year.
I 100% agree with that. It's never.
I
get
understand why
people
it is.
I can put
get
it, and I
It's
can
the
and
Tim
I can watch it
Burton
during this time.
ness
but-
of it all.
Yeah. Any Tim Burton
There's
movie.
nothing to do with Halloween.
No.
It could be set in like February.
It seemed like spring.
In fact, it's very
Yeah.
green out.
Very
Yeah,
green.
it seems spring.
But because of the macabre and this, and obviously now Beetlejuice is an iconic Halloween figure from decorations and costuming and stuff. I get it. Just, it's not a Halloween movie to me. Having that said, enjoy it as part of yeah.
Well, with that, you guys want to move it on to recasting? Welcome back to recasting. Let's start here at the bottom of the list with Otho. I'm just going to start by saying, except for like one character, I did a straight SNL swap. So expect a theme coming from me.
Okay.
I'm going to start with this. I did Bobby Moynihan for Otho.
I get it.
That's
Like,
the
I
drunk
get it.
uncle.
Well, think in my context of this is all going to be SNL, so it might not be the best choice, but this is what I did this week.
No, I could see him like he could fit into that sort of like an interior designer, sort of pompous,
He'll play a weird character.
dare I say flamboyant. Yes, I did Eric Stone Street from Modern Family.
I don't know why I thought you were about to say Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, sure.
Erickson.
Jeez, Eric Stoltz. That would have shocked me. I'd be like,
Eric
somber
Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stone Street from Modern Family.
Okay.
That one's good. I did Daniel Franzese. You may know him as Damien. You go Glenn Coco from Mean Girls.
Okay.
I thought it the whole time. That's the only one I know I feel like I for sure nailed.
I like both yours
Let
better
that
than
guy
mine.
rip.
That's so good, dude.
That's good.
I want my pink shirt back. I want my pink shirt.
And if you're listening out there and you're still fans of us, we'll probably do Mean Girls sometimes. We just know you guys love it and we don't want to piss you off.
Yeah.
Like, we like it for
We
sure.
hope to
but-
not.
Yeah, we don't want to piss you off. We're fans, but probably not as big as you.
Next up, let's move it on to Lydia. This is my one non-SNLer. I just did Aubrey Plaza because I didn't want to do Jenna Ortega because of the new one.
Jenna Ortega's chalk, so no one picked that. It's on all of our lists. It is.
And Aubrey Plaza 2 seems like the easy one, but I don't know. It's just where I went.
I did a very chalk one as well, but I kept it within like my version. If they made this movie when I was a 10-year-old, it would have been Christina Ricci, and I did it.
That's good.
So
I mean,
You went the original Wednesday Addams is what you did.
yeah. So
That works
I'm
perfect.
sorry.
no,
No,
that's
it's fine. That's where
I don't
it
feel
is.
great about it. I
think
tried
it's-
not
I think
to.
it's
but-
Christina Ricci 1, Jenna Ortega 2. I'm gonna go Kristen Ritter.
Let me
She
see.
can-
I gotta look that up.
It's only because I've been watching Breaking Bad, but she plays Jane in Breaking Bad. Kind of has that dark, emo,
I
gothy
gotcha.
look.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me.
I think Christina Ricci wins.
Yeah, but it's like it's so on the nose. I'm not impressed, but
Same
yeah.
with Jenna Ortega. Like Wednesday Addams is what that is. So
Yeah, and if we recast Wednesday Addams in 1988, we would have probably done.
Here's maybe a good one for you. Interview with the Vampire, child actress Kirsten Dunst. That could have maybe worked. Not.
She doesn't play macabre enough, I don't think.
That's
I
true.
get it.
But if
She's
I
a
want
good
to
see
kid
the
actor,
dark
though.
black or blonde hair. Not that she
Yeah.
couldn't have dyed it.
I
But
think she would have been
I'm sure
real
she
pale
could've.
looking though. I bet she would have been real pale with that black hair.
probably.
I'm just gonna throw this away too. If I was sticking to SNL, I would have put Molly Shannon there.
That would have been a weird choice.
I know.
That's not.
There's got to be. I would have put.
Odd choice.
It's just a weird choice.
Let me redeem myself with Charles, the dad. I'm doing Phil Hartman.
Ooh, I like
Yes.
that. Damn, that actually is better than mine.
There it is. See, that's maybe my
That
only
Damn
good.
it.
This is maybe my only good one this week, though.
I really do like mine. I'm doing Jeff. Not Bridget. Yeah, Jeff Bridges. No,
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. Sorry, I wrote down. I'm doing Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, he's a good father figure.
It's kind of a look like he can play uptight.
Kind
He
of
can
an
play
dick,
anything.
too.
He can do anything, Jordan. He's
He
funny.
really,
he's,
he is really good. Yeah.
He's all over the place. I like it.
So I
like Phil Hartman better.
for my Barbara. For my Delia, I'm taking out of. I'm not going Christopher Guest. So for my Charles, I am
Okay.
Eugene Levy.
Okay.
That's where I put him.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You know,
I
Yeah.
could almost see Fred Willard, but it's too goofy. No, I can't. Eugene
Fred Willard
Levy's
could
better.
be there too.
I don't think Fred Willard-
Eugene Levy.
Like Fred Willard gives too much in this. There's more, you know.
Do you know who's the commentator from Best in Show? Or maybe he's not the commentator. There's
It's Greg or
John
Brian
Michael
or-
Higgins. I could almost.
Yeah,
John
that's way
Michael
off.
Higgins.
This could be a fun John
Gosh,
Michael Higgins.
Come,
role.
come.
Let's move it on to the Delia to move on with that. SNL, I'm back. Kate McKinnon.
Oh, I actually like that a lot.
Yeah,
Damn
this
it.
one works for me too.
So I actually stole from your playbook, but I think it's actually a pretty good recast when you do it. I did Parker Posey for this one. Somebody from the city, annoyed, out of touch.
No, that could
I definitely-
let her roll with her.
I thought it. I didn't write it down just because I
It's going to be a little bitchier, but it's going to still
yeah, but you can still do that like that. You can play it like
be
harsher.
Best in Show, where she's still funny, but kind of like, I don't know, mean and short. I imagine
Yeah,
it'd be
but
like that.
she plays out of touch really well.
No, yeah,
and
I
that's
see it
kind of what
working.
the character does.
Yeah, we have this
and I took it
bloodhound.
from you. So yeah.
It's great. I like it.
Amy Poehler.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I think that'd be fun too.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like
No one really does what Catherine O'Hara
no,
does.
she's
though.
kind of in a land of her own.
Yeah.
We name people that like could do it.
Yeah, I have the best comparison. I do it all the time, but it's Clue and Young Frankenstein. I'm spacing on her name. She passed away.
Madeline Kahn.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's my best closest.
Say her name again, Mark. What is it?
Kahn.
Yeah,
Madeline Kahn. That's always my best comparison. Those two.
And I think I don't know if anybody threw
Fire.
I don't know if anybody threw Catherine O'Hara and Clue, but it seems like she could definitely belong in that world.
I always think she's in that movie.
it
for
feels
some
like
reason.
she is,
Madeline
but she's
Kahn.
not.
They're parallel. I'm telling you. Barbara, I have two, but I'm going to start with Kristen Wiig.
Love it.
Ooh,
I
damn,
love
that's so much better than mine. I was so uninspired.
SNL's paying off for me.
It's good because what are their names? The Mattinsons or something? They're
The
cheesy.
Maitlands.
They are cheesy.
Yeah. But also,
I did Rose Byrne almost for just look a little bit of
Dang,
a look.
Rose Byrne works well for me. I like that.
Both of those are so much better. I was having trouble
Kristen
with hers.
Wiig can play this goofiness better, maybe though.
I feel like I'm way off. I went.
Where are you?
I went Julie Roberts, and it's just mainly curly hair. Young Julia Roberts.
Don't hate it. No, that works.
I don't feel good about it,
think
but
that
I
works,
like
though.
yours.
That works.
Let's move it on to Adam. Bill Hader.
Ooh, I don't mind that. I didn't think about it.
He's not going to be overly goofy. He can play pretty straight.
Straight,
but
straight.
he'll
He'd
still
be
have
straight.
some funny, dorky, quirky moments.
So I'm gonna do who
Bill Hader
Yeah.
and Rose Byrne actually that's kind of what I see. That's not who I have, but
I am going Jeff Goldblum. Younger Jeff Goldblum.
That works for me.
And
That works for me a
just
lot.
Goofy guy. I could believe he's making models for sure.
That's the winner right there.
Reading the handbook.
I don't want to do it too early. Mark, what do you got? But that's good.
so Alec Baldwin was young and dapper. I almost got a hint of.
I see where Mark's
Ryan
going.
I almost got a
Backdraft. You're
hint
just
of
switching Baldwins.
Just
Billy Baldwin.
I mean, this
I'm not switching Baldwins.
this is closer to Billy, or is it Billy or Steve?
I went Ryan Gosling, just like he just did Barbie, so I know he can do cheesy. He can do
for sure could do
Yeah,
that.
he could do this.
Yeah. He can do most things. Wildly talented guy, actor. It seems like at least in interview form.
Weird guy.
I also I threw out Bill Pullman. I really was so close to putting him in there,
Yeah, Bill Pullman works for me. That works.
but
That works great for me.
I ultimately went Jeff Goldblum.
You know why? You know why it works for you?
Because I just watched Casper.
You've seen him in a movie just like this.
We could do Casper at
Christina Ricci too. That's why.
Yeah, there you go.
It all works. That's why. It all
So
comes
for
full
the
circle.
Christina Ricci character, I'm going Winona Ryder, and for the Bill Pullman character, I guess I'm going young Alec Baldwin.
Yes. I mean, yeah, stunningly close.
Last but not least, we are on our title character, Beetlejuice. I think it's such a high energy, weird, charismatic character. I just immediately thought Jack Black.
Okay, I did not go that route.
And
I see where you're coming from.
whoop, ow, he's just all up in your face and all over the place. I don't know.
So I'll say mine, but when I was trying to find some unverified, and this is why I should never look for facts, I saw a Screen Rant article with their recasting, which I didn't use any of. So I'm going to say there's after this because I like there's
This
a lot
is
more than
our
mine.
own original category. Jordan, what?
No, the categories, whatever. But I tried to come up with the people we were casting, that I want, and you guys know that because Emma Stone comes up so damn much
All the time.
So I'm gonna say theirs afterwards because I want you guys to hear it. But mine I came up with. It's kind of a stretch, but I'm going Charlie Day.
That's pretty good,
way,
though.
dude.
Is that what
No
you had, Mark?
way.
That one's my original, but I
Besides
actually
my
like
chalk,
Screen Rant's
he's
better.
my so let me just hand up. I did Jim Carrey because
That was
Thought about
that was
it.
my number 2.
he can do everything. Whatever. My original one is Charlie Day.
God, it's weird. Like it's different.
I
It's different
see
for
it, dude.
sure.
I see it.
But he's slimy. He's a little grifty. Like it's kind of his character a little bit from Always Sunny, and just let him rip. Nick Cage, anybody think that?
No, but that could work now that you mention it. Kind of more so now than back then.
100% not mine. Didn't come up with it, but when I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's really good. Sam Rockwell. I like that a lot.
Oh, that's a great one. Do you want to hear 2 people that Tim Burton wanted for Beetlejuice that you didn't think of at all? Number 1, Tim Burton originally wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to play Beetlejuice,
Jesus Christ.
but studio executives hated it. Then number 2, he reached out to Arnold Schwarzenegger for as
feels
Beetlejuice.
way wrong.
Timmy.
But he turned
That
it
ruins the
down
movie.
for Last Act, or I can't. I don't have
Last
that.
Action Hero.
Yeah, I think, or something else. Actually, that may
Can
be
I say what
before it.
makes this movie great though is that I don't think if Sammy Davis Jr., Charlie Day, whoever,
It's not a hit.
actually was on this, I don't know if anybody would have picked Michael Keaton.
I totally agree.
It's a stunningly out of the pocket pick.
But then if you
And it
follow
works.
up to Batman, it's not too weird because he gets a little nuts. He's got it in him.
Yeah. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. But I got to say this, knowing that this is how it happens chronologically, this predates Batman. Don't you think that Michael Keaton would be an amazing Joker? Like, way better than he would be a Batman based off of his depiction of Beetlejuice?
Kind of. Let us know what you think of our recasting this week, but we're going to move it on to Mount Rushmore, top 4. Mount Rushmore Top 4. Welcome back to Mount Rushmore Top 4. This week we're doing favorite memorable movie character Halloween costumes, as of course Beetlejuice has become over the years. This week we're going to go Jordan, me, Mark. Jordan, who's your number one?
But I do want to say, like, the reason we picked this is wherever you go out, if you go out for Halloween, there's going to be a Beetlejuice costume. Even on top of that, if you see somebody in this pattern of striped black and white, you're like, what is this, fucking Beetlejuice? That's how iconic of a fucking character look this is.
And he only wears that at the scene of the end.
Maybe he's just like escaped from... Yeah, he
That's
does.
actually true.
That's exactly correct. That's stunning.
I got two choices here, and I thought of this, and you're going to maybe disagree with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to save my number one that I personally love the most.
Okay.
I'm going to save it for honorable mention.
Why?
Because
I guess I don't understand why you wouldn't just take it, but...
Well...
You're pandering is what you're doing.
No, I think that as far as iconic Halloween costumes, based off a character of a movie that lasted way longer than the success of the movie,
okay,
I gotta go with Austin Powers.
That was going to be my number one.
Huge. Oh, it was your... Okay, then I can redo it because I can do my favorite.
I got a full barrel here.
The character exists as a costume way further than kids even dressing up as it now know what the movie was.
I'll agree.
But
it was
in the moment when the movie came out, it was fucking everywhere.
It was specifically the blue suede suit, mostly that people were rocking your Italian leather boots. But yeah, that was huge for years beyond the movie.
Okay, that's my choice.
I'm just going to take an obvious one off here, just Ghostbusters. That character has been just... You're going to see that every year.
That's a great group costume, too, right? You got a few buddies, you got a girlfriend, you got this and that, group of friends.
I can say it now. I got another child on the way, and once we're all big enough, we're going as Ghostbusters now that we're going to enforce them. Can't wait. That was my real number one. That's my favorite, the Ghostbusters.
I kind of figured, which was why I was going to leave that to you and take Austin Powers, but what a switcheroo.
It surprised me, but I will say this. I dressed up as a Ghostbuster for one Halloween in college. And of course, I wanted everybody to be like Venkman, but because I look Jewish and have glasses, they're like, hey, it's Egon. I'm like, that's not what I was going for.
Mark, what's your favorite movie character Halloween costume?
I'm going to go a little on the sluttier side.
Nice.
You had me at slutty.
No. I feel like Harley Quinn has been playing lately.
That was going to be my third. Funny.
Harley Quinn has been playing lately. You got your Suicide Squad. She's just always been
even before that though,
like comic book character.
You had the comic book version of her always with the bright colors beforehand though. Now now you got many versions, but I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, and I don't think that I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon, especially for a scandalously
I think
like
that
a sluttier
plays.
version. I think that's going to be around for a while since it'll it's in the zeitgeist now. Kind of like all these characters we're talking about. For that reason, I don't know if it's quite as...
I did do sort of the superhero comic, which we didn't really want to get into. I mean, everyone does a Spider-Man, everyone does a Batman, everyone does a Catwoman, everyone does a...
Yeah, those don't go out of style. Like, those are all there, and you know...
So. Well, moving on to our honorable mentions, I'll give you a timeless one then. Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. I feel like you still see, or in general, any of those characters, that's another good group costume.
That's like a good family one,
That's on my list, for sure.
It's a classic one.
Sandy, Danny, that's a good, Danny Zuko, Grease, that's a good couple costume.
Yeah, you see that a lot, especially if you're rocking the end suits, you're getting the hot leather.
So I don't know how much longer it will last, and I know that we agreed that specifically superhero movies are a little bit more off the table, but in particular... When it happened, and even longer, Heath Ledger's Joker, primarily.
I do have.
You'll see that this year. You'll see it
specifically
I
his Joker
down,
out of. Not all Jokers. His version of the Joker, like, is the one that you see.
I'll say you're getting a lot more Joaquin Phoenixes though. That's
you might get a couple Joaquins. Yeah.
Tell me the last time you saw Jack Nicholson. That's the guy I want to hang out with.
It's been a second.
I think you're gonna get some Barbies this year, like some.
That'll be the big one
Barbie
this year.
and
I think.
Oh, I'll tell you last year's favorite one. There were a lot of.
Barbie and Ken will be the biggest one this year for sure. I think, don't you?
Or a Wednesday, Wednesday Addams.
Wednesday's going to be big. It was big last year. Last year had a big one. The Last of Us, Joel and Ellie. There was actually a bunch of funny, I can't remember if it was BuzzFeed or The Onion, but like cringy pictures of couples going as Joel and Ellie, then getting drunk and making out, forgetting that it's like a father-daughter relation.
Or like Buzz and Woody.
Yeah.
Just like making the fuck out of it. I think it's pretty niche though. The Last of Us, I would get it and love it, but
last year Joel was a big one.
Yeah, Jordan didn't understand the last 30 seconds of what's happening.
I got a zeitgeist one for you that I think is a little bigger than Neo from The Matrix. I feel like that one is still around.
I feel like Cameron just wants to dress like that day to day.
I love a good long trench coat.
He loves pleather or plastic leather. What is it? Pleather, yeah.
Pleather.
Can I throw out some cult classics that I always love to see that don't really come around that often?
Yeah.
Like A League of Their Own.
You can see those.
I've seen, and then like a Big Lebowski or like.
I love the dude. If you can get him, if you can get them both though, if you can get a dude and the John Goodman character, even better.
I go for the Donnie character.
Sorry.
And wearing just going out for the night wearing a robe.
You know what's great about that? You're
getting
getting blackout and White Russians. You can't dress up as a dude and not drink White Russians all night.
You're ordering people White Russians. And they're like, we don't want it, dude. Then you're drinking for two.
That is a slippery slope, man. That's like it's steep and deep. I'll tell you that real quick.
What gets you? The cream, or the Kahlua, or the vodka?
It's the cream.
I think it's that eventually you're just drinking full vodka with a splash of Kahlua. It's just a cup full of vodka by
the Kahlua.
Yeah, I think we're just a vodka now.
These ones are getting further, but
I still like seeing Wayne's World.
Oh, that's
whether it be like I'm still into it.
You see that that plays every
you're gonna see it. It's gonna play.
I used to see a lot of Shaun of the Deads, and I feel like I'll still see a Shaun just wearing a dress shirt name tag with some red on you.
Sure.
Sometimes
it's better when it's a duo if you can pull it off.
That's true.
What sucks though is you got it. What do you have to have?
Red on you.
Well, no, you gotta have a chubby sidekick, don't you? A little bit,
or ginger hair. One of the two. It's got to help.
Or ginger hair.
You gotta have a chubby.
You gotta have one of the two. You can't have neither.
This was bigger when I was younger because I did do this once, but MIB just getting the black suit and glasses when it came out. Granted, I mean, I don't think the last one with the international one was a big hit, so I don't think that took off. But
yeah, like the fun thing about a lot of these characters is they're duos.
True.
Sometimes like quadruples, but that's fun.
I mean, this one's Halloween, but not scary, but Hocus Pocus. You're always going to see the Sanderson sisters out.
You see those every...
I love to see a Sanderson sisters group.
You know what's this isn't a character, but one Halloween... they're doing that at least 10 times that night.
They have, you got
to
do video.
Yeah. In fact, it's ruining their whole night.
Mark already said it, but Darth Vader, and there's always at least some sort of Jedi thing going on, but...
Yeah, like a...
I was Darth Maul one year.
You know what sucks?
The best mask you ever bought, yeah.
And I've done this where you have a mask. You can't drink, you can't trick or treat, you can't talk. You got to take off the mask. You're just a Jedi with a.
I'm Todd, the Jedi.
Yeah, I'm just Todd.
I'm anti-mask. It's just no way to live your life.
I'm an anti-mask.
I'm an anti-mask guy. Sorry, anti-Halloween mask.
Indiana Jones is a classic, easy one.
I thought that, but
Steve Irwin's almost easier than that.
You never get the tans right and the colors. Let us know some of your favorite movie character iconic Halloween costumes that we might have missed out on this list. But thanks for listening to our take on Beetlejuice. If you like what you heard, make sure you...
Mark was really big into Passion of the Christ that one year, right?
Well, nope. There's probably other depictions of Jesus.
Varsity Blues, I just walked around with the cross. I was a little brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Rate and review. That helps us greatly. If you want more content, check out the whole Majestic Jam Network. I'm Not Crazy and Urban Hermit. And until then, we'll check you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.